can we just check the stream, see if it's on?
Yeah, we might be live right now. Not really?
Well, it is that time of year again. Students are heading back from the beaches and filling in classrooms. And with the school year back, that only means one thing. Football season is back in full swing. Hello everyone, I'm your host Brady Chester. Alongside me, my co-host Taj Knowles from Mount Miguel, Coach TJ, and Coach Isaiah. And then over here from San Marcos, our guest star of the week, Coach Joe Jones. We have a great game in store for you today as the Mount Miguel Matadors come all the way up into North County and take on the San Marcos Knights. A ranked matchup should be a good one here. And let's just dive right into it. We look back at these two teams, the past record, 2024 Mount Miguel, they have a record 9-3, 3-1 in the Grossmont Hills League. They ended up losing to El Camino in the second round of the D1 championship. But you go back a year prior, 12-2, 4-0 in Grossmont Hills League. That ended up getting them first place and winning a D4 CIF championship. And then over at San Marcos, 2024, 11-2, 5-0 in the Palomar League. That was good first. Only losses coming to Mission Hills and Discovery Bowl and Granite Hills in the D1 CIF championship. Coach, how have both of these teams been able to find recent success?
For us, I think we just early on we had a decent amount of transfer our first year. The last couple of years we tried to just kind of build through the lower levels, and that's kind of what we found our success.
Yeah, I think just developing our guys. We have had a couple transfers come in that have made impacts, but continuing to grow as a team, as a program, developing those lower levels, that's I think the biggest difference. Guys sticking together, a young core being built, that's been the biggest difference.
And you look back at both of these teams, you go back a couple years, you kind of see not as competitive as they are now for San Marcos, going back to 2018 to about 2023. Not a lot of competitive seasons there. Mount Miguel goes back to 2013. Both have found recent success, been able to turn the programs around. Big difference here. And you go to San Marcos, you kind of see transfer players. Been a little bit of a help. You look at guys like Justice Woods, who came over from Carlsbad, the Reese brothers last year, Judah Zamar, Caleb from El Camino, and now this year, Ezekiel McIntyre. Looking to be the guy coming over from Escondido. A lot of big impacts from them. And then looking more into San Marcos, you see a lot of senior talent gone from this team. Guys like Jay Snicks, Caleb Reese, Brady Pohl, Kieran Sullivan. A lot of captains, a lot of leadership guys. How are they going to respond and bounce back this year?
Well, I think that's the cool thing about high school football is every year is different. And it's up to the coaches to kind of put these puzzle pieces together. And you can't just, have one system and the guys fall in place. You have to build around the guys that you have. So, Chase Nix, Brady Pohl, Caleb, those are guys that you really can't replace. They're so explosive. But really, this year, we're more of an inside-out team. Our strength is probably in our offensive line and running game. And obviously, having a tremendous quarterback like Crete, and then having some weapons on the outside as well. But every year's a little different. That's what's exciting. It's not the same thing every single year. It's really just putting the puzzle pieces together.
And then you talk about Creek Remarkahele, ranked as the 5th best quarterback in San Diego via Gridiron 619, averaging 235 passing yards per year per game for his career. Last year, amazing season, 44 touchdown to 9 interception ratio. Taja, how do you think Creek can continue to build off the success he's experienced in his senior season?
Yes, Crete has to trust the system. He has to trust his teammates. Because if he doesn't trust the defense to get the stop, he can't counter that. And I just feel like he's got to know his players very well.
Yeah. And then you look over at Mount Miguel, senior talent leaving, not so much of a problem. The main story with this team, 5-star Texas A&M commit Brandon Arrington. How does a player like that, what kind of impact does he make on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, so Brandon's a special player, obviously, for us. Like you said, 5-star commit, going to Texas A&M. On the defensive side, he has the length and the ability to shut down one side of the field or take away a team's top threat. So for us, he does a lot of things like that on the defensive side. Allows us to move guys in different places, knowing that one side of the field is going to be shut down. Offensively, he's one of the fastest guys in the country, so he can take the top off the defense. Allows Coach V to, whether he wants to use him as a deep threat, space out the defense, or get other players involved, knowing that he's going to cause a lot of attention to go his way.
And a lot of other guys too, backing up Brandon Arrington. He's not just the only notable player on this team. You got guys, AJ Logan, he's going to be going to Boise State next year. Tristan Williams, he's going to be going to Northern Arizona next year. They got 7 guys on this team, all committed with offers. They got another 7 guys, all with at least one collegiate offer. How has this team, all those guys surrounding Brandon Arrington, how do they just complete this team overall?
Well, we try to keep it tight. Obviously, Brandon's the big fish. He's the one that everyone talks about. But the guys that I don't want to say surround him, but the guys that are in that same in those same position groups with him, they do an extremely a great job. We think AJ Logan is probably one of, if not the best receiver in San Diego County. We haven't really seen much of Devontae Williams on the outside because of injuries the last few seasons, but he's also someone who could take the top off and make plays in this last game. He's an excellent blocker on the outsides. Paris Vernon, Kaylani, Gianni Porfido, which we added this previous season, are guys that can all do really good things.
Yeah, definitely one of the top skill groups in the county. One of the best wide receivers, one of the best DB rooms for sure. And with all this collegiate talent, do you think that provides sort of an intimidation factor for other teams when facing them?
It can, but at the same time, I think it's a little more added motivation to be able to play against guys that are going to the next level and be able to showcase your skills and be able to show college coaches that you deserve the same opportunity. So if it was me going against these guys, I would take it as an opportunity to be able to showcase my skills.
Looking back over to San Marcos, this is an offensive line that's been together for a really long time. They've got a lot of big guys. You think they have an advantage in the trenches, and if so, how is that going to impact this game?
I wouldn't say we have an advantage. I think our guys are going to have to work very hard. Mount Miguel's defensive line, linebackers, really the entire defensive unit is very aggressive and play hard. So we're going to have to earn it every single play. Usually in football, it comes down to the line of scrimmage. Who can dominate the line of scrimmage? So, we're going to challenge our guys to try and do that, just like Mount Miguel's going to challenge their guys. But, like as the offensive line coach, I'm a little biased, but I think we have guys that can get it done. But we have to show up. We have to show who we are. And it's going to be in every single play battle. It's going to be a fight. We're excited.
And final break before we go into a quick intermission. Both of these teams, CIF championships, kind of looking like it's going to happen maybe in the future. What are some keys for both of these teams to reach a CIF title game once again and get over the hump? Maybe win a D1, maybe potentially an Open.
For us at Mount Miguel, number one is we've got to stay healthy. I'm sure San Marcos is the same way. And we're just taking it one day at a time. Our motto for the year is win today. We're trying to win today, and tomorrow when we show up in the field, we want to win that day, and so on and so forth. So it's just one day at a time, one game at a time.
Continue to develop, continue to grow, have to stay healthy. We feel like the guys to do it, but we have to stay healthy, stay on the field, and continue to grow every day.
All right, coaches, thank you for joining us. We're going to go to a quick intermission. When we return, we'll have another special guest from San Marcos. We'll see you guys in a bit. right, and welcome back to San Marcos High School Game Day. And our special guest right here, taking over ASB President AJ Turner. AJ, how do you feel to be here?
I'm feeling great, Brady. I'm very glad that I'm able to come down to the field and really see what this crowd's all about from this view right here.
All right, let's get back into it. So going back to the loss of senior talent, obviously we mentioned earlier a lot of the big guys who are going to be gone now. A lot of big shoes to fill in, but one of the biggest shoes to fill in is going to be filling in for Jace Nix. This was a guy, he was a wide receiver one virtually every year he was here. He was a Silver Pigskin nominee last year. Who do you think is going to be the top candidate to fill in his shoes?
Yeah, so Brady, obviously last year we had a lot of senior talent, as you mentioned. But we also had one young shiner. He's actually a brother of a D1 commit, Zamar Reese. Now, Zamar Reese last year had about 182 rushing yards and picked up about 112 passing yards. And I really think that he'll be the kind of person to fill in his shoes. Obviously, it's nothing impressive, but as a junior last year, he really did a lot for this team.
Certainly. A lot of really good juniors on this team. I think they'll make a huge impact. Obviously, our juniors last year turning into seniors, a lot of really good guys there. You got guys like Zamar, you got guys like Parker Allred, Wyatt Britt, Cooper Meyer on the offensive line, Creed Makahele, obviously the quarterback, biggest name on this team it seems to be. I think it's going to be a big side. You look at the defense guys, Tony Baca, Ethan Martinez, some really big players here. But who do you think will be some really good players to watch out in this game and even moving forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think Creed Makahele is definitely a big one. He's been here 4 years. He knows how the system works. He just got to go out there and execute. Injuries could obviously be a problem. He had an injury last year. As long as he doesn't get injured, we should be good to go.
Yeah, and I'd like to go off of Tyja right there. I want to point out an all-star, Ethan Martinez. So if you didn't know, Ethan Martinez also plays for the varsity baseball team. He's a two-sport athlete, and he's got a really good potential. Last year, he was second in leading tackles per game. It was around 6.9. And I really think that he's somebody you have to look out for, especially when you're playing against a defense like ours.
For sure, certainly. Yeah, a lot of guys, even a lot of good two-sport athletes on this team. You see a lot of our skill position players, a lot of guys who like to run track. You see a couple of baseball players, like you said, Ethan Martinez, Colton Walker, he's also a multi-sport athlete. This is going to be a big way, a lot of good multi-sport athletes, a lot of good athletes. And then AJ, earlier, you mentioned the crowd. Now this is a crowd that certainly will show up for this team, called the loud crowd, not the loud crowd, Blue Crew for a reason. I mean, they get up, they get hyped really quickly. I mean, it's really hard to play here. What kind of impact does the student section?
We have a really big student section here. Won Battle of the Fans countless years in a row. I mean, we've got really good hype and spirit. And going off of your question right there, I've got to say, a crowd like this has really gotten the team in spirit. I mean, I used to be on a field like that with a crowd like this, and I cannot tell you there's a better feeling in the world than that. I've got to say that this crowd back here, it grows when varsity starts, and it even gets bigger to the point where we have to squeeze into this crowd over here. But being down on the field, I'm hoping that I'll be able to make a difference in the spirit and the energy level, for sure.
And you talked about spirit and energy level, and you know that all starts with our Blue Crew. Taja, you're one of the members of the Blue Crew alongside a couple others. You know, how do you guys are able to impact the game with the crowd and just kind of control them? What are some things that you guys like to do to get them going?
I mean, the motivation back here definitely gets the players on the field more hype, and we just try to keep them as engaged as possible. Chants, great music, we've got a great playlist, so as long as we just keep them engaged, they'll be there for us, right behind us.
Sure, yeah. And this student section certainly will make a difference. I mean, it's already starting to fill in, and we got a good amount of time until kickoff, so you know it's going to get rowdy here pretty soon.
Sure, yeah, Brady. I've got to say, they're setting up some stuff right there, behind us. And hopefully, you know, this will be a kickoff to a great year.
Yeah, certainly, for sure. crowd once again, one of the best in San Diego. Now we're going to take a look at some other games around San Diego, make some game picks. How does that sound to you guys? All these rankings come via Max Prep. First game on our list, we have number 20th ranked Ocean Side going to number 5th ranked Granite Hills. The game kickoff at 7 p.m. AJ, who you got?
So Brady, I've actually got Granite Hills. And for good reason too. I mean, last year we lost the Division I championship, and they just eating us up in the rushing game. I mean, they had a junior starting running back, and I'm guessing senior year he's gone there. So Oceanside, watch out for him.
Certainly. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Granite Hills on this one. They're one of the top teams in the county for a reason. You know, they won D1 championships last year. They're going to open championship year for that. This is a team that wants to continue rolling and continue to success. I got Granite Hills.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take Granite Hills well. Like Brady said, they have D1 championship last year. Open this year before. I mean, they just come out and they love the community. They love come out and just play hard.
Alright, next game we're going to look at number 8 ranked Otter Day Catholic taking on number 2 ranked DJ against AJ, who you got?
Alright, so this one is going to be a little bit tricky to kind of get someone I want. I'm going to say I'm going to have to take Cathedral Catholic on this one. I mean, if you don't know, they have one of the most ISIS recruits in all of California. I really think it's a good factor in skill. And not to mention, they have over 12 D1 minutes at that camp, or at that school. It's just a great place on a great atmosphere. I've got to take you to Catholic this one.
I'm also going to take you to Catholic. They have been powerhouse for so long. And honestly, any sport you look at, they have a great program. They're going to continue, win their opener. VT Catholic is going to take this one.
Yes, I think I'll think on it as being able to do everything to be Catholic. They've always had our line, so it's great to see them be strong, be out there. That's all about football. Got to be strong with football.
And then next third game, take a look at number 7 Helix going at number 10 El Camino. That game off 7-15.
Yeah, so I'm going to take underdog on this one. I've got El Camino, and I kind of want to shout out to a former friend of mine, a quarterback at El Camino, Gavin Wasserman. He's just a great guy, but also a great quarterback. He left here, San Jose High School freshman year, and he's just been our house as a quarterback, racking up passing yards and rushing yards, all of that.
I'm going to take the underdog, take the home team. El Camino has to win with me. Like I said, Gavin Wasserman, former quarterback. He was competing for the job against Miguel. Couldn't quite fit. He transferred to El Camino and has found a lot of success over there. And I think he's doing a great job leading this team and a lot of production over there with the Wildcats. I'm going to go El Camino.
I think I'm going to have to go to Helix, but I will agree with them on Gavin Wasserman. He has really improved throughout his years in high school, and we love to see it. But I'm going to have to take Helix for this one. I think they got a little bit more skill, but this is probably going to be a close one.
Yeah, Helix, also a good program. They've been a good program for a considerable amount of years, have pretty good alumni, so not a bad pick by any means. And then the final game, the game that you guys have all been waiting for, the game that we are covering here right now. We have number 19, Mount Miguel, taking on number 11th ranked, the San Marcos Knights.
Yes.
All right, AJ, who do you think is going to take this one?
Now, Brady, this one is an obvious answer, by no means. But I would like to point out, Brady mentioned before, Mount Miguel has, how many? We've got 44 total D1 offers at Mount Miguel. And Brady mentioned some top 10 powerhouse teams that some of these players are committed to. However, the idea of this crowd behind me is to give the spirit and to give the hype. We have a good O-line, I mean a fantastic O-line. 4 really strong and hard-headed players. We've got Preet Makahele back there. we've got Cutter Voorhees, we've got Zamar Reese, even our defense. We have Ty. Ty is a D1 commit at Navy. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So I'm taking San Marcos without a doubt.
AJ, I'm going to have to agree with you. San Marcos comes in, they are a hungry team. They are trying to find some more success. They've been building on great seasons in these past couple of years. Last year they even reached the D1 CIF championship, and this is a senior class that has been together for a really long time. They are hungry, they are ready, they are developed, and like you said, this crowd is going to get into it. I have the San Marcos Knights putting a stamp on the first game of the year, winning a big one to start the season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I definitely have to take the San Marcos Knights too. We're really strong. We have this great crowd behind us. This beautiful blue crowd, the Blue Crew, in fact. And we have only one transfer, so he will definitely help us. But everybody has stayed in the system. They all know it, even if they're being pulled up from JV to varsity from last year. But I definitely think we can get that way.
Yeah, and I want to say real fast, going off of your point right there, Tyja, starting a freshman year, my freshman year, our football team had 72 freshman players. We're looking at this team right over here, about to come out. They have a senior class of 46, where only 3 of them have transferred into the system. So we have 43 players who stayed out of that 72. That is a big group of people still there. And I think going through the thick and thin from freshman year to senior year, these guys are hungry and they want it and they're gonna eat.
And there you have it, San Marcos Knights, they sweep the panel. And that's all that we have for you folks. This game's gonna kick off here at 7:30. If you're in the area, come on down to San Marcos High School and come watch the game. If you need to watch it online, NFHS Network has it for you. I'm Brady Chesler, Tyja Knowles, AJ Turner, we're signing off. Thank you for joining us on San Marcos High School Game Day.
Go Knights!